Until quite recently, sales training was based on folklore and theories which were substantially unchanged since the 1920s. No hard facts were available about what the successful seller actually does that's different from the average. However, by the mid-1970s, Huthwaite Research Group had pioneered the commercial application of behavior analysis, a technique for recording objectively what people do in their interactions with others, the kinds of questions they ask, the reactions they receive, the kinds of information they divulge. Huthwaite researchers observed 6,000 live sales calls in a series of studies, examining the relationship to success of over 100 such behaviors. They sought, through observation and computer analysis, the hard facts which had, to date, been unavailable. And what did they find? That successful sellers tend to behave in a very different manner to that of the foot-in-the-door caricature. They think and act long-term rather than short. They focus on customers and their needs, not on themselves and their products. They use a range of strategies and skills, but no tricks. This video illustrates the core skills which underlie successful customer-centered selling, the SPIN skills. The wide range of application of SPIN has been demonstrated by its adoption by many of the world's largest and most successful companies. Analysis of a further 30,000 calls has shown that SPIN works equally well in banking, insurance, construction, medical and pharmaceutical, IT, consultancy, you name it. Is it ever possible to prove the impact of training on sales productivity? It's very hard, but such tough measurement tasks have been Huthwaite's business for nearly 20 years, and their rigorously controlled trials have revealed productivity differences of between 17 and 63% between trained and untrained groups. Perhaps most convincingly, one client, Motorola, appointed an external evaluation consultant to assess a SPIN implementation, and she reported 30% improvement in sales volume and 27.4% in sales value. Now, why is SPIN so effective? There are many reasons, but mainly because it focuses on the customer and helps them to examine their problems and needs. Customers of salespeople who use SPIN often view them as empathetic and helpful consultants rather than as sellers. Remember, SPIN is not some clever theory dreamt up in an ivory tower. It's a distillation of what successful salespeople are actually doing out there. So you are already using the skills to some extent yourselves. This video will help you recognize your strengths and understand how to overcome your weaknesses. It definitely won't double your sales overnight. Only you can develop your skills by careful planning and practice.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
John Swan, King Office Automation, here to see Mrs. Sutherland.
Right, I'll try her number for you. Wish me luck. Oh, yeah, up to the usual form. These phones. Pigeons will be faster. Take a seat for a moment.
Oh, thanks very much. Do you get many problems with your telephone?
All the time. It's getting worse, too. Good afternoon, HBK. Angela Sanderson speaking. How may I help you? Ah, Mr. Peters. Sorry, what humming? Oh, yes, I can hear it now you come to mention it. Let me put you through to Michael Smith. Mr. Peters for you. Angela, can I use your phone a moment, please? Yeah, sure. Have you seen Man in the Moon yet? No.
Angela, David Robb's been trying to get through to me for the past 2 hours.
Oh.
I'm off to meetings, so could you call him and apologise?
Fine.
I'll try to get him.
5:30. No way. No. Shall I meet you at the cinema? Let me try Mrs. Sutherland again for you. Well, you made some crown? John Swanking to see you, Mrs. Sutherland.
No, that's Swan. John Swan. It's... Yeah.
Oh, John Swan, King Office Automation Limited. I'm sorry, the writing's a bit close together.
No, don't worry about it. It's been that sort of a day. Well now, Mrs. Sutherland, I can't wait to show you the new prize-tell telephone system. I know you're having all kinds of problems with your current system. How old is it now? 10 years or so?
12.
Ah, well, there you are, you see. Golly, things have changed in the last 10 years.
That's 12.
Goodness me, when I think of the changes I've seen, well, it makes me feel quite old.
Yes, well, it comes to all of us sooner or later, doesn't it, Mr. Swan?
Well, not you, Mrs. Sutherland. I didn't mean you. I just meant that, you know, in time we all...
Well, speaking of time, Mr. Swan, it's been...
Yeah, well, for instance, I know that the prize-tell telephone system is the very solution for HBK.
I see very little wrong with our present system, Mr. Swan. It gives us hardly any trouble, and to be honest with you, we have many other things to spend our money on at the moment. You don't do vehicle leasing by any chance, do you?
No, we don't. But the prize-tell...
Pity. Because, you see, you can't run a company without any transport, can you?
No, but we can increase your telesales capability.
I think you'll find I know our business, Mr. Swan.
Well, yes, of course you do. Yes, no, you're brilliant. Everyone knows that. No, it's just that I know our business too. And I know that prize-tell would be the perfect solution for HBK.
All I can see, Mr. Swan, are the costs, the expense, the disruption of the business, the retraining of the staff.
No, but you see, I've thought all that through for you. You've just got a bit of a blind spot about it.
Ever thought of taking up diplomacy, Mr. Swan?
No, that's not what I meant. Oh, this is so frustrating. Look, I know time is pressing.
Yes, it is.
Right.
Very.
Yes. But nonetheless, I would deem it a personal honour if you would allow me to demonstrate the prize-tell system for you. I've been looking at your record in the industry, and frankly, phew. Well, I mean, phew, who wouldn't be impressed?
Oh, thank you.
But, and I'm using a fairly substantial but here, I can see problems ahead for you.
Oh, wow. And I didn't even cross your palm with silver, did I, dearie?
No, well, honestly, I'm not being some sort of ranting clairvoyant.
Good. We wouldn't want to clutter up the place with the likes of them, would we, Mr. Swan? Mr. Swan, I know our present system is far from ideal, but it does not yet warrant the kind of severe changes you're suggesting. The disruption would be disastrous. And as for retraining the staff, well, it just isn't cost-effective. Not this year, anyway. Perhaps in a couple of years' time when we've had our money's worth out of the old system.
Oh, I do wish you could see this through my eyes, Mrs. Sutherland. I've prepared a document for you.
Oh, another time, Mr. Swan. Perhaps you could leave your lovely document with my lovely secretary on your lovely way out. Thank you very much for calling. Bye-bye.
Right. Well, thanks for your time. Oh, by the way, did I mention the conferencing capability?
I just can't see we'd ever have a need for something like that, Mr. Swan.
Or the micro voice navigated hands-off optionals?
The exit's quite easy. It's just past the secretary there on the left.
What about the long-term servicing agreement or the leasing facility?
Bye-bye.
Oh, by the way, I didn't ask about your family. How is Mr. Sutherland? Robust as ever, I hope?
He died 5 years ago.
Did he? Good Lord. How time just seems to sort of fizzle out in a great steaming blob of ineffectual, garbage-brained, scrofulous, useless, incoherent nothing. Oh, I don't know. I got everything right to begin with, Doc. I got the appointment, which, let me tell you, wasn't easy. And the prize-tell is a fabulous system. It'd be perfect for HBK. The system she's got at the moment is practically obsolete, whereas the prize-tell will be adaptable to new technology for another 15 years at least. What do you say, Doc?
Well, of course, John, she is quite right. She does know her own business.
Oh, I know.
And the new system would cause some disruption.
Yes, but the point is, that would be more than covered by an increase in sales and efficiency. Look, I've done a serious, in-depth study.
Well, now, this is impressive, John. Look, John, would I be right in thinking that you would like me to help you increase your sales potential?
Well, I'm already the best there is, Doc. I win bonus awards the way some people get acne. I guess sometimes I just get the wrong customer.
Right. What makes you a good salesman, John?
Well, I do my research. I turn up. I don't use any tricks or hidden agendas.
So frequently, you make the sale.
Yes.
But frequently, as with Mrs. Sutherland, you don't.
Right.
Right. How does that make you feel when that happens?
Well, frustrated is the word I'd use, Doc.
Frustrated, annoyed, what else?
Well, I feel a bit of a Charlie, to be perfectly honest. I feel as if it's a personal failure.
Right. So usually you make a sale on the basis of what? Personality, product capability, and understanding of your customer's business, yes?
Yes.
Right. What is it you do when you make a sale that you don't do when you fail?
Well, if I knew that, I'd always make the sale.
How might you react, I wonder, to a long run of failures?
Well, it's a high-pressure business, Doc. All kinds of problems might come our way.
What sort of problems are we talking about here?
Well, he must have seen it. You know, chap gets behind with his orders, works extra hard to catch up, gets into the old downward spiral.
And what do you see as the consequence of that?
Worry, loss of confidence, loss of house. Health suffers, can't work, only takes a few missed opportunities.
So it's important to keep up your sales quota.
Are you kidding? It's vital. My company, my family, my tailor, my bookie, they all rely on my expertise.
So, what would really make you feel better?
Making the sale. That would make me feel better. If only I could do it every time.
Ah, but say you could improve the odds substantially.
Doc, I'm already the best.
John, let's suppose that I had access to an enormous amount of research based on observation of literally thousands of hours of face-to-face sales calls, and consequently, I'd come up with some really helpful solutions.
Well, if it was straight, not one of those newfangled psychobabble clever jobbies from the University of Never Done It Myself, but I can write a musical about it. Yeah.
No, John, I am not talking about theory here. I am talking about what people actually do when they make a successful sale.
Well, fair enough. But I warn you, Doc, I've been around a long time. I've seen it all. I mean, it's okay for people starting out.
All right. How would it be if you could help your client make a decision in your favor?
Ah, well, if you put it like that.
That would be useful, yes?
Good grief, of course it would.
Right, so if there was some way of increasing your chance...
I tell you what I want. I can see what Mrs. Sutherland's outdated telephone system is doing to her company. And I can explain to her what our system could do for her. What I can't do is make her see that. Now, if your research could show me a way of doing that, then I definitely want it.
Right. So, if there was some way of allowing Mrs. Sutherland to express in a precise and explicit way what it is she requires from you, then you'd be willing to give it a try?
Yes, definitely.
That is what is called an explicit need.
Is it?
Let me tell you about SPIN.
SPIN? Never heard of it.
Well, in a way, you've just been through a SPIN sale. You see, my questions led you to see that you have an explicit need for my solution. Do you want to hear more?
I'm all ears.
Right. SPIN is an acronym. S-P-I-N. S stands for situation questions.
Situation questions?
Yeah, like how many employees do you have? How many telephone lines are there? That sort of thing. In other words, the very starting point of the conversation. Now, P is for problem questions.
Fire away.
Right. For instance, does your current volume of business ever cause the system to overload? How happy are you with the size of your telephone bills at present? Oh, and there was that one you yourself used in reception, remember?
Oh, these phones. Pigeons will be faster. Take a seat for a moment.
Oh, thanks very much. You get many problems with your telephones?
All the time. It's getting worse, too.
Problem questions. Understood.
Right. Now, problem questions. They're designed to draw out information about difficulties, dissatisfactions, and concerns to reveal any implied needs that your customer may have.
Any which?
Well, implied needs. You see, your client hasn't yet said that she needs a particular solution, but the very fact that she has a problem implies that she might be looking for one. So, that's called an implied need.
Oh, I get it. So, you ask all sorts of stuff about the nuts and bolts of the company, then you check to see how happy they are with the situation, and any dissatisfaction you pick up is an implied need.
You have got it. Good. See, in a way, you have to be a bit like a doctor to find out where it hurts.
Ow! Right, yes. And so I suppose I've got to see the problems from